All right, what's on the bench today? Nothing. And that's the point of the video. It's actually a video about a new microscope, and the new microscope can swing out of the way and stay out of your way. So I've done some reviews of microscopes in the past, but this one's quite different. Comes with a big boom arm. So this is by TOMLOV. They sent it into the channel for review. And it has this nice arm where you can swing it out and articulate it and put it in any direction you want. And you can move the whole thing up and down on this big heavy-duty arm over here. So it's built really, really rugged. So let's take a look at it. All right, first of all, let's take a look at the arm. The arm is like, it's quite large. It is 35 millimeters in diameter, and it is stout. It's got a big base here that has a C-clamp type arrangement on it, so I can attach it to my bench. It is quite heavy duty. So they did a really nice job on the articulating arm here. It has also built-in cable relief or things to hide the cabling. So that's a real nice feature. Let's take a look at the back. All right, so it swivels around here, and it articulates all the way up to this point where it has a manual focus. Now, if I was going to critique the thing, I think everything that's in black is really high quality. This piece right here really lets the microscope down. They really should try to find a better focus rack. This is just a little bit wimpy, and the flange right here that holds onto the microscope is just a little wobbly. You can screw it down with these screws, but it's just it could be a little more robust if they did one in the future. But I do like the big arm though. It is a very nice feature. Now, obviously, in my case, when I do a bunch of videos and stuff, I can take this arm and I can just swivel the whole microscope way out of the way and just keep it over there, so you wouldn't even know it's there, and I could just swivel it back in when I need it. So that's very, very nice. All right, so that's one of the big new features of the microscope. Let's take a look at one of the other features of the microscope. And that is this right here. Now, most of the microscopes have a focusing knob right here. This one is autofocus. So that's really, really different. See, this thing's just a bit wobbly, and I just think it just lets them down. There's really no good way to fix this wobble. It's actually not wobbling. It's not wobbling here. It's wobbling here. Can you see that? No, you can't see that. The wobble is at this point here, and no matter how tightened I make this, it still has wobble to it. So they should really try to invest in a new thing back there. All right. So yeah, let me bring the camera in. All right, so this is very, very different. It has no focusing knob at all, and it has a bunch of buttons. Now, these are not push buttons. These are touch-sensitive buttons. And so it has one that's called autofocus, minus, plus for manual focusing, and then you can program 2 preset distances of focus, and you can hit P1 and it'll focus to that distance, or hit P2 and it'll focus to that distance. So that is very, very different. Underneath, it has a ring light. So for very close-up work, you can have its own ring light. It also has a distance sensor under here, so it helps it with the autofocus. All right, and it also comes with this, which is a big giant ring light. Now, the giant ring light does not come with this ring, though. It just comes with these 3 little screws that you try to hang on the end, and it's a complete fail. It's just an awful design. And so what I did was I 3D printed this ring, which makes a very snug fit on this end. And then when you crank down on the little things, it kind of deforms that ring, and now the ring light is held on very, very well. I'll put a link down below if somebody wants to print this ring out, but I suggest to TOMLOV that they try to redesign this and make a nice ring that is a really good attachment, and go from there. All right, let me move the cameras around so I can photograph this thing well. All right, so this is going to be very difficult to film because of the reflective screen and the way I have all of the video lights and stuff in the garage. It's just not going to photograph well. But here is a device that we want to be working on. And so we have the ring light here. The ring light has adjustable brightness. Interestingly enough, it's AC powered, not DC powered. So this plugs directly into the wall. So that's kind of nice. And then we have the autofocus mechanism thing here. And then we have our screen up here, okay? And so right now it's set to a manual focus. So if I get something to focus on, all right, I'm gonna bring this in here, and it is actually out of focus. I know it's hard for you to see it probably on screen, but I'm gonna hit the autofocus button, and it's about a 2-second autofocus adjustment, and now it's very, very sharp. And then when I put in a new device, it's out of focus again. And if I hit the autofocus, oops, sorry, I'm gonna bash everything around here. It's done a nice job of autofocusing again, okay? And then it goes back to manual focus. Now, if I hold down the autofocus button, I can get it to go into continuous autofocus mode. So if I move this one out of the way, it focuses on my bench. And then put something else in there, it focuses on that. If I put in something different distance away, it focuses on that. So it's in this continuous autofocus mode, which makes it very, very handy. A lot of times I'll be wanting to do something. Well, here's a good example. I want to read the part code on that, and you need to kind of have an angle on the device. So if I put it at an angle, it automatically then refocuses and I can read it. So it's an Atmel Tiny 814, and then if I put it down flat again, it will refocus. So for a single person and speed of use and stuff, it's nice to have the autofocus. Once in a while, the autofocus can be annoying, but you can easily turn it off and go to manual focus and just lock things down. All right. I talked about it having two program settings. Okay, so let me go back to manual focus here. I'll put something else in here. I'll maybe put something on top of that. There's a plus button and there's a minus button for manually focusing it. It's really hard to use those to get to a really crisp one. You can sort of get close with the plus minuses, and then you reach behind and use the rack and pinion down here to get to do the final fine focus. It's just kind of hard to go step. It's just kind of annoying. All right, and so you can see that we're sort of maybe out of focus a little bit on these guys. If I hit the P1 button, it goes to a fixed focus. Obviously, it was meant for something else. P2 has not been programmed yet, right? All right, so let's say that we want this as the P2. So we'll hit the autofocus, let it do its job, okay? It'll find the focus. And then we'll hold down P2, and now P2 is adjusted, all right? So if we put something else in here, and we try to focus on that one, put this one back in, it's blurry. If I hit P2, it snaps right to the P2 focus distance. So that is handy as well. All right, so it is, I mean, there's a ton of these things on the market. TOMLOV is a big manufacturer of them. A lot of people complained, oh, that's just a cheap camera in there, blah, 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 blah. No, they actually have a pretty nice sensor here. I actually reached out to TOMLOV and says, can you tell me what sensor you're using? And it is a nice Sony sensor. Now, Sony is one of the premier makers of CMOS imagers in the world, and CCDs, and they're using a 13 megapixel CMOS imager. It's 4,000 pixels wide. So yeah, it's got really, really, really good resolution. Okay, let's see, what else can we do here? We can just open up one of these little packages here. Let's go back to continuous autofocus here and watch it focus on those little guys. And then you can reach in with your tweezers and grab one and watch it autofocus again. Yeah, so it is pretty cool. There is a remote control that comes with it. And so you can hit the camera button or the video record button. You can power it off from here. You cannot power it on from here. You have to hit the power button on the front to power it on. You can power it off from here. And then check this out. Let's look at something fun. Let's say these little guys, right? And so let's get it to autofocus. There we go. It's autofocusing correctly. And then we will hit the arrow button, and we can zoom in. So it's got, remember, it's got 4,000 pixels of CMOS imager, and it's only got 1,000 pixel display. So we can do like a 4x zoom, and we are still, let's see here, if I could force it into autofocus mode there. There we go. So you can either kind of force it that way, or you can just hit the button and make it do it autofocus, or you can hit the OK button, and that makes it do it autofocus as well. All right, so we can go out here and have it do something funny. We can come back in, and we're in autofocus mode, and now it's in focus. Or we could go out, okay? We could put it into manual focus mode. It says MF up here, now it's in manual focus mode. We can put the thing that we want of interest here, hit the OK button, it will do an autofocus, and we are done, and it goes back to manual focus mode, so we won't lose our focus. So that's also very handy too. So you can do the zoom in, you can do the zoom out, let's see, autofocus, and take a picture, take a movie. One thing about the remote is on the back it says it's a CR2025, and it came with the CR2025 battery, and it didn't work. But it uses a 2032 battery. I put a 2032 battery in it, and it worked just fine. So I don't know what's going on there. So anyway, something they might want to take a look at. There is a menu system. It's pretty fancy. Let's see if I can show you guys a little better here. Zoom in on that. All right, so we've got, that means exit. We've got a playback if you have files on the SD card. Then we've got color things. So we've got auto exposure, image brightness, auto white balance or manual, or calibrate the auto white balance, autofocus. You could have it in manual or auto, and I saw you can override those with the buttons on the thing. You could do black and white or negative, wide dynamic range, contrast, saturation, sharpness, mirrors, and frequency for getting rid of flicker and stuff. So pretty nice. And then we have a bunch of things here. We can take photos in 13 megapixels, which is the native resolution of the sensor, or it'll upscale and interpolate, give you a 52 megabyte file. We can do 4K video or 1080 video, LCD brightness, auto out, different languages, time. Yeah, all kinds of cool stuff. And then the last one is you can put crosshairs and things like that on, or a ruler, other things like that on the screen. So, all right, so you can have a pretty good working distance. In fact, if you want an ultimate working distance, you can move this arm way up out of the way. All right, that's pretty high. And you can see here, I've got about almost more than 1 foot of working distance, okay? And you can see that we're still zoomed way in. So even with this huge working distance, we're still zoomed in here to about a 70 millimeter working distance field of view. So yeah, it's high magnification and huge working distances. So people who are worried about getting in there with their hands or soldering irons or desoldering irons, whatever, you can have this thing way up high. I find this kind of annoying way up with that high up, but I think I'd rather have it down close down. That works best for me. And then the big benefit of being able to swing it out of the way, I really like that. All right, so there you go. That was a quick review of the new TOMLOV. I'll put a link down below. I think they're going to give us a discount code. And I'm going to leave you with a bunch of stills and videos of the device, so you can kind of look at the image quality. But yeah, there you go.